I've been collecting vinyls on and off since about 2017, so what's that, like 8 years? Oh my god. My collection isn't really that big, but it is quite sentimental, so I thought I'd share and give you a little bit of a vinyl collection tour. So I'm going to show you each album and my top 3 songs from that album, just because I think it'll be a little bit fun. And then at the end, I thought it'd be really fun to give you a little bit of a run through of my vinyl wish list and what I'm currently searching for to add to my collection. There's no real order to this. So starting us off, we have Speeding by All Day. Now, All Day is an Australian artist. This is the standard pink pressing. I was really into him around like 2017, 2018. I don't really love any of his other stuff. This is probably the only album from his that I really enjoy, but I have seen him twice live. He is a very good performer. So my top 3 for this album, in third is 10 Drinks, second is Codeine 17, and number 1 is In Motion featuring Japanese Wallpaper. Alright, next up, similar kind of vibe, we have Arctic Monkeys AM. This is just the standard black vinyl. I got this in about 2017, 2018 when I was really obsessed with Tumblr and like indie rock. So yeah, this was a big album for that phase in my life. This is my favorite album for them as a whole. I do love songs from their other albums, but as a collective, this album is it for me. And this ranking is really hard because I have a lot of favorites in this album, but in third, I think I'm going to have to say Do I Want to Know. Second is going to be I Want to Be Yours, and number 1, hands down, is Arabella. To keep in this sort of indie rock vibe and around that 2017, 2018 kind of Tumblr era that I was in, we have Catfish and the Bottlemen, The Balcony. This I actually got late last year. This is their 2024 Record Store Day white pressing. This is the 10-year anniversary. Thought I needed it in my collection. My top 3 from this album is probably going to be, I think I'm going to give the third spot to Homesick. Second, I'm going to give to, I think it's got to go to Cocoon. Number 1, hands down, absolutely Hourglass. That is such an amazing song. And then similar vibe, again, still in the 2017, 2018 era. This is a favorite album of mine. This is Beautiful People Will Ruin Your Life by the Wombats. This is a clear pressing. To be honest, it's going to be really hard to rank this album. I think in number 3, I'm going to have to give it to I Don't Know Why I Like You, But I Do. Number 2, I'm going to have to give to Lethal Combination. This was my top song for, I think, like 2 years in a row on Spotify Wrapped, but it has to be Turn. Oh my god. I don't know what they put in this song, but I'm addicted. Every kind of couple of months, this album comes back into my rotation and I just get hyper fixated on it and remember why I love it. So if you haven't listened to it, I definitely recommend. So moving into soundtracks, first up, so random, but I have the season 1 soundtrack for Stranger Things in just the standard black pressing. I do think that this came in like a red and black marble. I got the season 1 vinyl as a gift. I just haven't decided to buy the other ones. So it's not really a genre that I normally put on. So I don't know why I thought that I would collect all of the seasons, but I think all of my vinyls predating 2020 are just like standard pressing. There's nothing special about them, but I no longer collect standard pressing. I only collect exclusive or limited edition pressings now. So keeping with the soundtrack theme, I have Bridgerton season 1 and season 2. Now these are actually a recent addition to my collection. I only got these maybe a week or 2 ago, and they're actually my first vinyls of 25. So that's fun. So season 1 is this lilac marbled pressing called Daphne's Dream. And I think my top 3 from this album are Thank You Next in third, Wildest Dreams in second, and then the number 1 spot has to go to Strange because I'm obsessed with this cover. I listen to it all the time. Season 2 is just this plain sky blue pressing. It's not marbled or anything. It's nothing really fancy. I didn't actually have any intention of buying season 2, but it was a pretty good bundle deal to get season 1 and season 2 together. My ranking for season 2, I think, is going to be Sign of the Times Stripped in third. Second is going to be Material Girl, because this is quite a fun cover, to be honest. I don't hate it. And then number 1, I think, is going to be How Deep Is Your Love, because this is just... I just love when they cover pop songs. Something to know about me is that I really love string instruments, particularly the cello and the violin. They just, when I hear them in songs, I just get so happy. This one's kind of random. But next up, I have Dreamers by Charles Leclerc and Sofiane Parmart, which I'm definitely pronouncing wrong. This one is just the standard black pressing. However, It really shouldn't have been, because this was actually meant to be an exclusive red and black marble pressing. And it was advertised on the website as that when I ordered it. But when I emailed the company and told them that, they said that their supplier never said that it would be a red and black marble, even though I had a screenshot of the advertisement when I ordered it. But they gave me a 10% refund, so whatever. But I am on the hunt for the red and black marble pressing. It's only got 4 songs on it, so I'm not going to rank those. Now we're moving into the pop era. So first up in this category, we have Divide by Ed Sheeran. This is just the standard black pressing. I got this in about 2018. This album was my whole personality for, I think, a solid 18 months. And when I got this album, actually, when I unwrapped it, there were tickets to his concert the following year stuck to the front. So it's got a lot of nice, happy memories associated with this album, and particularly with the vinyl. My top 3 for this album is really hard because I love the whole album, but I think in third, I'm going to put How Would You Feel? Number 2 is going to have to be Dive, and number 1 has got to be given to Perfect. I have been obsessed with this song for as long as I can remember. It's so beautifully written. All right, so we're moving into the pop girlies now, and this is where I really started to take vinyl collecting seriously. So any albums in this next section are exclusive or limited edition or alternate covers, bonus tracks, etc. The way that I see it is, if it's the same price to buy an exclusive pressing as it is to buy a standard black, why would I want a standard black or a standard pressing? So first up we have Gracie Abrams, The Secret of Us. This is the retailer pink exclusive. My top 3 for this album is going to be Blowing Smoke in number 3. Number 2 is going to be I Love You, I'm Sorry. But actually, my favorite recording of this song is the live recording from Vivo, I think. That one is absolutely unmatched. And then my top song, hands down, is Risk. This was my number 1 song in Spotify Wrapped last year. I'm obsessed with it. I love everything about it. Next we have Fruitcake by Miss Sabrina in the olive green pressing. This is the repress that she did for Christmas 2024. Now, this is a new edition as well. I got this as a Christmas present. So my top 3 from this album are Is It New Year's Yet? Number 2, I'm going to give to Santa Doesn't Know You Like I Do, because that's just so beautifully written. And then the top spot, without a doubt, goes to Cindy Lou Who, and I actually listen to this song throughout the year because it's one of my favourite Sabrina songs. Next up, I have 2 pressings of Short and Sweet. The first is this D2C alternate cover in like this mint green translucent. I am obsessed with this shoot. I think it perfectly fits with the way her brand is going right now. It's very sultry, it's very soft, and I just am obsessed with the colour scheme as well. Then I have the D2C alternate cover with bonus track Needless to Say. This is a clear vinyl. I am personally obsessed with this cover. I think it is hot as hell. My top 3 from Short and Sweet, it's got to be Dumb and Poetic in third. Second, I think I'm going to have to give to Bedchem. And then number 1 is going to be Good Graces. Now, funny story with both of these pressings is neither of them actually play espresso. They both are damaged on that side of the vinyl, and they just skip through espresso like a scratch CD. So alright, moving into my biggest artist, we're up to Taylor Swift. First up, I have Reputation Stolen Version, the picture discs. So I got this early to mid last year on the basis that Rep TV will be coming out soon and you probably won't be able to get this anymore, but also I'd love to have both to compare the versions with each other and still be able to listen to the stolen version without giving Scooter Braun streaming money. It's really hard for me to rank my top 3 in each Taylor album because it changes all the time. Because I'm so sentimentally attached to all of the songs, it really just depends what mood I'm in. But right now, currently, my top 3 for Reputation are probably going to be Ready For It. I know it's basic, but there's just something about it. It's unmatched. And I cried when I went to the Eras tour and that played. I was sobbing. Like, it's got so much aura with it. Look, I'm going to be honest. I think that I did something bad, and don't blame me, are tied. I can't pick between them. I love them both equally. Number 1 right now, it's a recent favourite for me. I'm going to give it to New Year's Day. Alright, next up we have 1989 TV. This is the pink pressing. Now, the only reason that I picked this pressing is because it's pink. So I'm going to do my top 3 from the original album and then my top 3 favourite vault tracks. So from the original album, in third place, I think Blank Space and Style are tied, to be honest. I love the vibe and they're nostalgic to me. Number 2 is going to be How You Get the Girl. And number 1 I'm going to give to You Are In Love, hands down. Right now, that is my favourite song of 1989. My top 3 from the vault, a little bit harder to pick, but I think I'm going to give number 3 to the song that I cannot say on here. Number 2 I'm going to give to Is It Over Now? And number 1 for me is going to be Now That We Don't Talk. I love that song. Next up, I've got Midnights in the Lavender edition. I was really tossing up between the lavender and the jade green, but lilac is genuinely the prettiest, and I think it fits the album the most because of Lavender Haze. So picking a top 3 from this album is going to be so hard because Midnights and Evermore are my top 2 albums, but I'm going to try. It's not going to go very well. My current top 3, and this is just for the standard album, it's not for the Till Dawn or 2am edition, so this is just what's on the vinyl. Bejeweled or You're On Your Own Kid in number 3. These 2 were my 3rd and 4th most played in my Spotify Wrapped for last year. Number 2 I'm going to give to Midnight Rain. Number 1, and this depends on what mood I'm in. Now, it's either Maroon or Vigilante shit. But if this was a top 3 of the 3am edition, this ranking would probably be different as well. So finally up to the Tortured Poets department. I have 4 pressings of the Tortured Poets department, all for different reasons though. Now, like I said, I'm not really a variant collector when it comes to just different pressings, but I am when it comes to bonus tracks. So first is the Bolter. This is like a sepia beigey coloured with like a pink undertone to it. So this was the first one that I ordered because it was announced at my show, so it was a little bit special to me. Then we've got the Manuscript. This is the JB exclusive clear pressing. I got this because it is an exclusive clear pressing, so it's a bit different than just the standard white Manuscript. The last variant that I have is the Black Dog. This is like a brownish black kind of vinyl, and it's really nice pressing. I got this because after the album had been released and we'd heard them all, the Black Dog was 100% my favourite, and out of the variant covers, this is my favourite cover as well and favourite pressing. So I was like, well, this one's just my favourite, so I'm going to get this one too. So my top 3 from TTPD, I think in 3rd I'm going to give Loss of My Life. I think I'm going to pick Fresh Out the Slammer for number 2. And then number 1 for TTPD, I'm going to give to So Long London. And then lastly, we've got TTPD The Anthology, and this has 4 vinyls. I've done an unboxing of this on my page if you want to see the pressings. Now, my top 3 tracks for The Anthology. I think in 3rd, I'm going to pick Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. Beautiful song. Number 2, I really can't pick. I can't pick between How Did It End or The Black Dog. Similar vibes as well. And number 1, sadly, and I say sadly because it's a depressing song, I'm going to give number 1 to Peter because every time I listen to it, I fall more and more in love. So that's my current vinyl collection, but I thought it would be fun to share my current wish list and also the vinyls that I'm currently searching for. Surprisingly, I don't have any Ariana Grande vinyls, which is crazy because she's one of my all-time faves, but I actually have a lot of her pressings in my wish list. So my favorite album of Ari's is Thank You Next. Currently searching for a decently priced split pressing. It's not going too well. I'm not having a lot of luck. Next up is Eternal Sunshine. These can all still be bought brand new. They're all still in stock. The only problem is I haven't been able to pick which cover I want because all of the pressings are the same and the covers are different, and I just haven't been able to pick the cover. I'm also currently looking for the black and purple pressing of Dangerous Woman. Oh, I think this pressing is really, really cool. K by For Now Live would be an absolute dream to have because it has a lot of my favourite songs on it. So I would cry if I found that. And I'm currently pondering if I want to buy a Wicked pressing because I really do like the soundtrack, but I'm tempted to wait until part 2 comes out because I feel like they'll do a set of part 1 and part 2 soundtrack, but I don't know. I'm still thinking on that. The Tate McRae So Close to What exclusive pressing, this is a recent release. I genuinely think this came out like 10 days ago, but it came out at like 3 a.m. in Australia and it was sold out in 0.2 seconds, but it is so beautiful and I'm so sad that I missed out on this. I need this in my collection. The Ed Sheeran Tour collection, this has all of my favorite songs from each album and I think also some live recordings as well, which is just my favorite type of recordings. Moving on to Taylor, it would be an absolute dream to get Folklore Long Pond Session on vinyl from Record Store Day in like 2021, I think, or one of the Folklore variants, either the Hide and Seek, Meet Me Behind the Mall, Betty's Garden, or Stolen Lullabies pressing. I'm really hoping that for the 5-year anniversary, she's going to do another Folklore pressing like she did with The Cardigan and Love Alive from Paris. So I'm really hopeful, but I don't know if it'll happen, but who knows with Taylor, you never know. I actually have a running wish list of standard pressed vinyls that I would really like in my collection, but I just don't want to buy. So this is kind of like what I send to people when they're stuck for birthday or Christmas gifts. So on this list, I have the standard pressing of Folklore and Evermore, and also Red TV, because I love all of these albums, as well as Emails I Can't Send by Sabrina Carpenter. This is probably my fave album of hers, but again, I don't love the pressing, but it'll make a good gift. So also on this list is the soundtrack for Queen Charlotte. This is probably my favorite season soundtrack. Now, I do have a few more artists and albums that I love and would like to get them into my collection one day, but these are the ones that I'm really on the hunt for right now. Let me know what vinyls you're on the hunt for, and I'll see you in the next one.